All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 3 of this match between. I'm gonna get this right now. Zap, help me out. Who are my teams? I apologize. This is
Uh,
ALNS and
yes,
TAF3, right? All
yes,
luck,
that's
no
correct.
skill. That's right. That's right. And ALNS is our northern spawn here. They are fielding a Lexington, Vladivostok, double Wichita. What? Otago, Cossack, and Lefantask. Zap, talk to me about TAF3.
Well, Taffy 3 is choosing to bring double Vladivostok, so they are not bringing a carrier. They're bringing an Edinburgh Tone, so I guess technically they're bringing a carrier. I don't know. An Otago, a Chapayev, and a Lo Yang. Now, you
They're
said,
bringing.
what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
remember, Baltimore was banned, so
Oh
obviously
yeah.
all luck, no skill is like, fine, we'll see your ban and raise you a Wichita, which is, for all intents and purposes, very similar.
Yeah, yes, and similar.
hmm
But Wichita,
hmm
Wichita has some pretty significant differences from Baltimore. Two of which are going to play into this match. Okay, actually, no, only one of which is going to play into this match explicitly because the red team has not opted. That's Taffy 3 not taking a carrier. That makes a huge difference,
Yes.
right? Wichita's AA suite is not as robust, is not as good as Baltimore's. Wichita
hmm
is stealthier, but her radar is shorter ranged. So, that might still come into play, but we'll see how this goes. There is also not only very radical different lineups here, right? Because you've got a carrier on one side and double destroyer on the other side, double battleship and 4 cruiser. So very interesting lineup choices here. Both teams taking incredibly different options into this match.
Yeah, yeah, and overall, it feels like from a radar perspective, we're looking pretty even. From a hydro perspective, obviously, Mad Dog's Lo Yang has an advantage over the Cossack, Peaceman's Cossack, but um, we'll have to see how this all plays out. As it looks like the red team is heading towards. Well, they're kind of doing an even split, more
Yeah,
even than I would
Taffy
expect to see.
Taffy's gone for a nice even 4-3 split, whereas ALNS has gone for a 5-2 split, leaving the Otago and the Cossack back to kind of guard the B cap and anybody charging up the 7 line. Everybody else on their team, including the carrier planes, more or less focused around over at the A cap.
Yeah, generally speaking, that's what I would have expected to see Taffy 3 do. Something similar. Put two ships on the south side at Sea Cap. When you bring a second battleship instead of a carrier, you essentially free up a ship to go on to whichever side is going to be your push side. And I would have expected them to be pushing at A.
Indeed. Now, Fierce Nemesis' Wichita here on the top end of the A cap is in almost that exact same position that we saw the Chapayev get hammered in an earlier game on Warriors Pass.
Yes.
One of the key differences here is that the opposing battleship that might look for a cross shot on him is a Vladivostok that does not have the range and cannot take any kind of spotter plane to help boost him out to get that range up there. So,
Well,
um,
he's also behind the
go
island
ahead.
right now, anyways.
He is, but my point is that even if they could see him, it would not help because the Vlad that would have had that cross shot not able to
hmm
get it.
Right. All right, so we are seeing a push being formed by Taffy 3 now. The Vlad and Chapayev heading north on the 7 line with the Otago on the 9 line. And we just saw our producers here switch our views. And this push has not been spotted yet by All Luck, No Skill.
Well, it isn't. It is and it hasn't, right? Peaceman's Cossack has already dumped his conga line torpedoes down the channel,
hmm
trying to catch Hellbound's Vladivostok as he's coming up. So they've at least got an inkling that this is coming.
hmm
But they do have the planes. You can see now the dive bombers, the Lexington HE dive bombers, kind of heading in that direction. They can see the Chapayev now, so they know he's there. And they've got shells out on the Cossack. So this is actually a bit of a nice pincer because they've got the Otago, that's PO1 Steve, way over on the 9 line. He's swung out wide as the
hmm
conga line torps miss Hellbound.
Very close, though.
Yeah, ALNS I think is going to have to redeploy something to deal with this push because I don't think they have the firepower to stop it.
Right. Meanwhile, Mad Dog's Lo Yang is fixing to go into ACAP, and I think he's going to try to dive the island. If he's successful there, it doesn't matter what radars the Wichitas bring.
Sinvex Zatago playing a very dangerous game with a Vladivostok lurking around the corner. Manages to dodge most of that incoming salvo. He and the Cossack both have torpedoes going down the channel. We'll have to see if they can manage to sneak one into somebody, but I'm betting that Otto's got his Hydro equipped. Possibly. We'll see.
Well,
Dyer's
but
wow.
Otto's getting free Hydro from General Hellbound's Vlad anyway. That's farther ahead of him.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's picking up those torpedoes. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, when I cover replays, I always call that my poor man's Hydro. You get behind somebody else.
Yeah. So let somebody else face spot the torpedoes for you so you can dodge them. There you go.
Bingo. Now, Mad Dog paid dearly to get into that position in A. Unfortunately, he's unable to really just do much besides just sit there and get bombed by the Lexington on account of Wichita radar and all that good stuff. So.
Indeed, TAF3 just pushing hard across the board. They're into A. They're about to step onto B.
Yes.
And you can see now. Go ahead.
This is what you have to do with a battleship comp. You have to be aggressive. You cannot allow both sides to set up, essentially.
Indeed. ALNS looked like they might be trying to rotate their Vladivostok back for broadside shots on General Hellbound, but yeah, he's finally turning his turrets that direction. He's got good cover from the south. Welded steel won't have shots on him. There goes the shells, as some torpedoes also going downrange on Hellbound, but those are all going to fall astern. Carrier torps might catch him, maybe one.
One on the butt, perhaps.
Yep, one in the stern.
Yep.
And just like that, 7 minutes in, TAF3, their aggressive play, they own the whole board.
Right. Now, look at the Lo Yang at A. He's coming under fire from the Wichita. He's going to be out pretty soon. The Fantasque is helping support this, I think.
Dyer's playing a very dangerous game. Lots of ships with shots on him. And I would not feel comfortable with the Tone that close to me. That Japanese HE can do mean things.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to see a push happen, but Welded Steel's Vladivostok is probably causing those two Wichitas to pause for a second and rethink that decision.
Welded's position is very much holding back these Wichitas from just moving up and annihilating Mad Dog. Black Prince's Lexington bombers coming back in to see if they can finally put the kibosh on Mad Dog. A Vlad salvo gets there first, though.
Wow. Great shot from that Vlad.
CL Beery's Wichita caught out on the A-cap. He's got cover from the Vlad, but not the Edinburgh.
Yep, I think we'll see that again. Here comes a replay of that shot. Mad Dog just trying to put smoke on, not quickly enough.
Welded Steel looking for a cross shot on Nemesis's Wichita. Doesn't get much out of it. They do finally back Beery. Yep. And just like that, we're tied on kills. ALNS down on point. No board presence and down on health. I think what's really impressive to me, Zath, right, is that TAF3 engineered this board position, and they've maintained a health advantage the whole time they did it. Now, they came into the game with a health advantage, right? Because they took one less destroyer. But still, Nemesis just getting pounded over here in the A-cap.
Well, that's what's going to happen when you're in a Wichita.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and your side's exposed. So, but this is what else we're seeing here, Raptor, is we're seeing at least it seems right now, at least, the success of a 2 battleship comp against a 1 carrier, 1 battleship comp. We haven't seen this yet today.
We haven't, and I think you're right, Zath. I think the difference is in kind of how you field it, how you play it.
Execution coming up right here.
Well, we're gonna find out. Torpedo, water. Oh, not quite.
No.
Welded executes Nemesis, but manages to survive. He's in a bit of a cross torp now. Some of those falling astern, but he's driving into some from the Otago, but nope, those are all going to go down his port side.
Some brilliant maneuvering by Welded Steel here, keeping his boat afloat, taking out the enemy. He wasn't even like looking at the tanks of Vladivostok. He was just, there he goes.
Yep. Tank does finally win the duel. as now he's going to be face on with a Tony and an Edinburgh as he drives back into the A cap. But I'm still not sure that ALNS can recover Zap. Now, they are doing something sneaky. Have a look down the 6 line and check out Ben's Cossack.
Well, so if the Cossack goes into C, that will, of course, buy some time for that team. Some breathing room to perhaps get another kill. You've got a Vlad running down the Edinburgh and Tone right now, south of A, with carrier support.
Yes.
If C stops ticking, we change from 1 minute and 21 to about almost 2 minutes to loss for ALNS, which means ALNS then has 2 minutes to kill one of those cruisers south of A.
I think they can manage that, especially with the Vladivostok this close. He's inside surface detection for the Edinburgh, and the Tone is not terribly far outside of his. He's just behind an island, so he wouldn't have shots anyway.
Yeah, you would certainly hope so.
Oh, this could be it, Zap. This salvo right here from the Vlad could do it.
Mustang's trying to get behind the island for cover.
He does finally get there.
Nope, and he's behind the island, and he's popping his fancy super heal. Basically daring the tank to keep shooting him, because it's not going to work.
This is going to be super tight, Zap. They are going to pick up the C cap.
Yep.
ALNS is going to pick up C, but that still leaves a 90 seconds away from a TAF3 victory here with their aggressive 2-battleship team comp.
That's right. So they did gain a little bit of time. Here we see some Tone torpedo bombers coming in on the tank. It's obviously not going to do much, unless possibly detonate. But
they need a kill.
But ALNS needs a kill.
They need a kill, and they need to not lose a ship. Dyer's just pinging away with his reload booster. He knows they know they have to kill this Edinburgh.
Edinburgh responding.
They can't lose Dyer in the process. If Dyer goes out, that will end the game.
Well, but you lose in 54 seconds anyway, right? So
they got some damage in, and now Black Prince coming in with a Lex strike as the Vlad salvo goes in on the Edinburgh and doesn't. Now they get an overpen out of it.
Fantastic, hitting the S key, reversing, dodging that shell from the Edinburgh. Wow. And Tone dodging that too. Brilliant maneuvering in reverse.
All right, they forced the Edinburgh broadside to the Vlad. The Vlad's going to have time for one more salvo. This is it. They have to kill this cruiser. They have to kill Mustang's Edinburgh if they want the time extension. No, they don't get it.
Nope. Mustang
and he's healing again. That's the game. That's it, Zap. TAF3 is going to win this series by the skin of their teeth. Goodness.
Wow. What a game.
Hang on for a win. Woo!
What a game 3.
I gotta say, Zap, I'm excited to see a 2-battleship composition come in here and show that it can be made to work.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we talk about this in clan battles, right? When clan battles, you have the ability to take a carrier or a battleship. Some teams try to make the double battleship composition work, but usually the higher up you go, the more challenging it becomes to pull that off. Sooner or later, teams more or less feel forced into taking an aircraft carrier for the vision, for the strategic and tactical flexibility and all that sort of thing. But yeah, that really aggressive battleship play up the 7 line, they took the B cap, they held it the entire rest of the game, and then just so close, right? Those cruisers literally getting away from a Vlad in their face. He's trying to run them down. Really, really well done.
Yeah, brilliant play. I love it. And that's exactly what you have to do. We see that also in clan battles, like you were mentioning. When you choose that battleship, you're choosing to be aggressive. You're choosing to win one, if not both sides of the map as quickly as possible.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, the first round of the day is over. TAF3 will be advancing to our best of 16 round, which we'll be bringing you in a little while. In the meantime, let's duck back to the studio, talk to Conway and Chris for a little while.
That's right. See you in a little bit.